Well, hi everyone, and welcome back to Foreign Currencies with Scott. This is our weekend show, so we do like to get on camera and look at you face to face for a bit. It's Sunday, January 25th, and we're reviewing the entire week that just went by. In the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we had one loss that hurt a little bit. And then in the last two trading days of the week, we had no trade on Thursday, but Friday we did have a trade, and it was pretty much a textbook entry point, which we took, but then the pair turned around and we had a loss. So we'll describe that on the graphics portion of this video. But just suffice it to say that we had a week that was 0 and 2. Now, as we did mention before, when we were going through that long winning streak of 5 straight wins, we did not expect that to continue. And sure enough, here we are with two trades this week and both losses. So that leaves us 3 and 2 for the month of January, which is good. And overall, since we started on July 1, we're 18 and 18. So we're exactly batting 500, which is pretty much what we predicted when this challenge started. But we are still way up. And through the end of the week, even with those two losses this week, we are still up 20% for the entire challenge since July 1, about 6.5+ months now. And we're up, I think, 5 or 6% for the month of January, which would also be a good month for us. Now, it's a little hard to endure those two losses in a row. Even after 5 wins, the two losses are difficult. And that's just something about human nature. We take losses worse than we enjoy wins. In fact, research shows it's about a 2-to-1 ratio. In other words, a loss hurts twice as much as a win feels good. And so some studies go back to our era of survival when living to the next day was more important than getting a reward, and just avoiding any kind of setback was more important. So when we do have a setback, it hurts a bit more than a reward or a win can provide for us. So just keep that in mind, but keep in mind that for the entire course of this challenge now, we're 18 and 18, which we should have what quite a bit more disappointment than joy, since it's supposed to be 2-to-1 on the downside when we suffer a loss. But despite being 18 and 18 for the entirety of this challenge, we are up 20%. So we should have plenty of joy from that. And I assure you, we will keep going and there will be more joy to come. So without further ado, let's take a look at the chart from Friday and we'll describe it in action a bit. And I hope you have a good rest of your weekend and do set up tonight for the Monday trade when London opens. And we'll be back with you on Wednesday night and see how the first 3 days of the last full trading week of January go. Okay, take care, everybody. Okay, so there was no trade potential on Thursday, so we're just going to look at Friday. So on Friday, you can see there the vertical bar on the left of your screen is the New York close on Thursday night. We have our three horizontal lines. And we can see from after the close on Thursday, we did hug the line, but went a little low. And then let's just see where we were at 3 a.m. So at 3 a.m., we were very close to the uh, New York close. And so there's no trade at 3 a.m., but we kept an eye on this, and we can see that after 4 a.m., we made a move up, and we did get above 30 pips away. And you can also see that we tried to establish something of a high there, and so we did enter between 5 and 6. So we had a good entry above, and we had some consolidation there, so we didn't keep making new highs. And we can see that as the time went past 6 a.m. and on to 7 a.m., we had some more highs, but not as high as we had between 5 and 6. So we were looking good. And then between 7 and 8, we went back up and touched that 30 pips away. Still just kind of hanging in there. And then you can see just before 10, the pair moving away and making a move upwards and closing us out. So we entered at right about 30 pips above, which would have been 30.1. You can see on the left there. So we would have been out at 50.1, which is just right around here between 10:30 and 11. So pretty much a textbook case entry point for selling to go back to the New York close. But instead, the pair decided to just go the opposite direction and continue going up, and that's what it did. And so that marked as a loss for us. So that was overall for the entire week, 2 losses. And we did say after that 5 trade win streak, we did not expect that to go on and we expected to give some of that back. And we have done that now. So over 2 during the week. And that's it for the week's trading. We'll see what happens next week. So I invite you to join us on Wednesday evening when we review the first 3 days of the trading week to see how that went. Okay, until then, good trading, everyone. So long.